Welcome back, blade fans. Well, there were so many good knives that I ran across this year that I acquired, purchased, what have you, that as I promised last time, we're going to do round two. And you know what? Since the year isn't out yet, and we're not even at Thanksgiving, I've got an early start in this, and there may be other knives coming in that end up being on the favorite list. So these are all production folders. That's the category. No fixed blades right now, although that's another thought for another time. And no custom knives. As it turns out, at the moment I have no custom folders, at least that I can recollect. These 6 are special for one reason or another, and they all have their own independent reviews, so you can check those out on my channel if you need to know more about the knife. You may have questions like, I get questions like, is this flat ground or hollow ground? How's the detent? How's the clip? What's the material? All of that stuff is going to be covered, or already is covered, in the individual reviews on these. So there we go. And there are a few others that you may say should make this list, and either I don't have that knife so I can't really review it, or maybe it's coming, because there were so many knives that came out this year in 2021. It's just incredible. So I'm going to stop talking. Almost 2 minutes into it. This takes a little while to cover these 6, so let's get started from left to right. This is the new model Williamson Chibs, and this follows a frame lock model that came out earlier. This one came out in 2021. By the way, that's part of the criteria. And if I'm right on the cusp and you say, well, maybe it came out late 2020, we can discuss that. But near as I know, I definitely acquired these this year. And for the most part, they came out this year. So there you go. He upped the steel on this to 14C28N from the frame lock, which was D2. The action is much better, just about drop shut. It opens extremely well with either the opening hole, finger flick, or back flipper. Has an aggressively textured 3D milled two-tone G10, black and green on this one, and it comes in some other colors. Two-tone blade, which is kind of cool. And I love the profiles on Mikkel's blade designs with that drop point, spear point kind of looking thing with a neat swedge. Beautiful satin grind on this one, and I think they're coming in the 60 range. These aren't necessarily budget knives, but looking at them, they all come in under 100, okay, in this particular group. Maybe some others that I show that are favorites coming up that fall a little outside that range. Great ergos, nice jimping. There's very little not to like about this knife. It's a good weight. It's got some weight relieving inside. Nice deep carry clip, which by the way came through with Chibs in stenciled letters there on the original clip, but this clip came in the box so you can swap it out. How cool is that? And it tucks underneath the handle in that slot so you can switch it to the left side. That is a Williamson Chibs. Call that a V2. Working from the right, we have the Hades by Dam Designs. Dam Designs has turned out so many interesting knives this year, and towards the end of the year, I think in October, they came out with some additional ones. So I did reviews on the Wendigo and on the Yokai, which was kind of a neat Tanto looking thing. They're both Tanto looking knives. A A very interesting recent review by Bob DeMarco of the Knife Junkies channel of Adrian D'Souza, I believe, who owns the Damn Designs company, and a lot of good talk on just where these designs came from and how he gets them to market and all that good kind of stuff. So this is a very aggressive clip point, almost a Bowie clip, I don't know what you'd want to call it, but it's definitely piercy. This one was in D2. The later knives are coming out in 14C28N and even in 154CM. So he's got quite a variety going now. You got to pre-order them for delivery in February 2022. Maybe by the time you see this, they will already be out. But really neat. Like the way he handles the switchable clip. This one is JG10. I've got one in the, I believe, a green G10 with a stonewashed finish. This one has the satin finish. You don't often see that except on his higher end knives. And this comes in the $50 range. Smooth as can be on bearings. It's one of the few that has thumb studs as opposed to a flipper tab. I like it for that reason. It's got plenty of blade and belly to be a good EDC knife, and fair amount of meat out towards the point for a pretty slender taper to the blade. Jimped release for the liner lock. Nice beefy, I think 4mm on the blade stock, and it is a flat grind, folks. I'm pretty sure. Looking. I'm going to call that a flat grind. You can question me on it if you want. With a high grind like that, if they subtly hollow it, it's difficult to tell, but my thumb tells me this one's flat. And there you go. Come through very sharp. They may have changed the design by the time you see this, so if that's the case, or they've changed the material, that's just simply because it's a work in progress by Mr. D'Souza. Okay. This one was so favorite of mine that I picked up a couple others in different handle colors and blades. This is the Fin by Bestek. This one has the like a tricolor green camo, blue, and black in the handle. Have kind of a fluted 3D milling with a nice echo of the fuller. There's the fuller, and there's the fuller running down the middle of the handle. These are so smooth. They give you a choil choke up that's usable. Seldom see that on a spear point dagger style blade. If you haven't picked one of these up or seen it, it's definitely worth a look-see. And I think they're coming in reasonable at like $60, somewhere around there. It is not a switchable clip. It is right side only, tip up. Pretty close to deep carry. They don't quite pull it off all the way, but it is a folded over steel clip with dome head screws. Again, action is incredibly smooth. Fuller goes down in there deep enough to where you're not going to open it with anything but the flipper tab. But the detent and the action on this is really nice. Yeah, you've got, half a flat grind there. But still comes through pretty sharp. So if you're worried about EDC in this and not having fine enough edge, you could be right. But it just, on style points for the money, it's just amazing, and it's Bestek quality all the way through. That is the Fin by Bestek. Moving on. This is the Warrior, the 949 by Petrified Fish. I have two other models in this, and I thought I had pulled the one with kind of the swirly G10 and carbon fiber design in the handle, but this one is just as special. It's in ebony wood, and it's the first Petrified Fish I picked up that has a wood handle. It's a beautiful dark wood with a subtle grain. It is smooth, it is a bit slick, and you have a beautiful crowned spine on this blade. They do a lot of work on this. Comes through with an extra set of washers, although it is on bearings. Now, it's still to be determined whether or not they give you those washers so you can swap them out, or whether it's basically a bearing washer combo. And you see that in a lot of knives, where the nylon washers and the brass washers and what have you are kind of clamshelling the bearings in there. Got a lanyard hole. Got a nicely sculpted backspacer out of kind of a carbon fiber material. Interesting. Didn't notice it before. Kind of a two-tone white and black G10. Possibly carbon fiber, or possibly wood. Don't know. Definitely going to be hard to tell because we got steel liners. And those liners are hidden. They're encompassed by the handle, which is, you know, for $55, I don't know how you can beat this. And I love the blade shape. It's just a really fantastic, almost a harpoon blade shape on this. And it looks like my battery warning's coming up, so give me a second. We're going to break and come right back. Oh, sorry about that, folks. It's been happening a lot lately. These batteries are aging out. I've had these Sony F-style batteries for a while now, and I got a pile of them, and some are old, some are new. What are you going to do? At any rate, we're moving on with this show. Recently acquired the Valona by Migaron Knives. This is an excellent, like $50 knife. 14C28N. By the way, what was the steel on the fin? I didn't tell you. That was also 14C28N. And on the Warrior, it is K110, kind of a higher end D2. 14C28N on this guy. Just incredible drop shut action at the price point. They give you a nice titanium clip. You got a fuller, and you can use that fuller to finger flick it. A very fidgety, well done knife with a 4.2 inch blade. Crazy. This one has the kind of tan G10 textured handles. Plenty of handle, plenty of blade. If you like a budget knife that's large, not too heavy, this is definitely the way to go. Migaron's just knocking it out of the park with their recent budget entries, and they do make higher end knives too, over $200. So you're getting the same quality here, smooth on bearings, $50. God, pick it up. White Mountain Knives on this one. As with many of these, with the exception of the Damn Design knives, which came from Amazon or directly from Damn Designs. Petrified Fish, coming now, Justin up at White Mountain Knives is carrying Petrified Fish, and has quite a variety, if they're in stock. because they go quickly. Last, and one of the best, and you can argue with me on this one because there's been a lot one way or the other on this knife. This is the Button Lock Elementum by Civivi. Saw this in this configuration and said, if I'm going to get this knife, this is the way to go. A little longer than the original Elementum. It's coming in around 3.5 inches. The thing with this knife is that you need the button to open it and close it. So it is, yes, your virtual gravity knife. The button does everything. They are coming out with some knives later this year, and they should be out by the end of November. And the name escapes me right now. Neat little clip point Bowie style blades that have a flipper and a button lock. So keep your eyes open for those. When they come out, I may pick one up. Got a little bit of a choil here that's usable. We got some good jimping. We got a beautiful Damascus steel blade. I understand it is 9CR18 MOV Damascus is what Civivi's saying, I believe. And just an amazing shred, or marbled really, carbon fiber handle out of black, blue, and kind of a tan. Fantastic color in that handle. And that and the blade are kind of what turned me on to this knife. Deep carry clip with flat screws, and it's switchable. Good old Civivi. You keep reaching for a flipper tab there and there's none. So again, easily open with a button, but actually may qualify as a gravity knife in your jurisdiction. You have to check on that first. Excellent Civivi sharp edge. Just a nice showpiece. You may or may not want to carry this. You may just want to keep it in the collection. So there's the Elementum. There's the Hades by Damn Design. There's the Chibs by Williamson. And that's, by the way, direct from Williamson, Copenhagen. That is not being manufactured by anybody else. Although I'm sure he has an OEM. He's not doing them himself, but he is a custom maker. There's the Valona by Migaron. Here is the Fin by Bestek. And here is the Warrior PF949 by Petrified Fish. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a long one when we got multiple knives, so I know you're scanning through. I hope you enjoyed this nonetheless. Don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe. This Old Sword, signing out.